What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I have the keys to the 2021 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS. Huge shout out to Randy Marion Chevrolet for providing this sports car for me today. Definitely check out their website. That will be down in the description below. This model here is finished off in Summit White and it has an MSRP just over $51,000. Let's go ahead and jump into today's review by starting up underneath the hood, where you'll find the 6.2 liter V8 engine. This model here is paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. A 6-speed manual is also available. This engine produces around 455 horsepower, around 6,000 RPM, and 455 pound-feet of torque, around 4,400 RPM. It is rear-wheel drive. It weighs in around 3,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in as low as 4 seconds flat, up to its top speed of 165 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 19 gallons, you can expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city and 27 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 110.7 inches. Its overall length is 188.3 inches. It has a width of 74.7 and a height of 53.1 inches. With all of those specs out of the way, now we can go ahead and jump into the exterior walk around on the 21 Camaro. I'm going to start with the upper half of the front bumper here. You'll see it's very sleek. I love the design of it. You can see just how narrow the headlight housings are. Of course they are LED. This has LED DRLs and LED turn signals, and I love how they protrude into the middle section of this grille here. Just has a very nice sleek design and it works really well. Of course, you can see all the large cutouts in the mesh here to provide maximum cooling to that engine. We have the Chevy bow tie right in the center. And then working our way to the lower section, you'll see that same pattern in the mesh to provide more cooling, of course. We have LED lights on both sides, and there's even functional air inlets on the outsides of the bumper. So you'll see that will help direct airflow around the front tires and exit behind them. And then we have really nice contoured lines shaping the front of this Camaro. It gives it a very, very aggressive stance. And then up top on the hood, we have even more contoured lines and a functional heat extraction vent right in the center. Moving on to the side profile now, we'll start off with these wheels. They measure 20 inches, they're finished off in gloss black and have a 5-spoke design to them. And then right behind the wheel, you can see the 4-piston Brembo brakes. Those are on all 4 corners, so this definitely has a great stopping ability. You can see the Camaro badge just above that on the front quarter panel. And then we have a really nice pinstripe running down the side. You'll see the side mirrors are finished off in black. There's more black surrounding all of the window trim. And then up on the roof, this does have the sunroof as well. You'll see there's more black on the fuel cap along with Camaro spelled out on it. And then we have even more contoured lines running down the side profile. To match the front end, it gives it a fantastic look from the side. And finishing up in the rear, you'll see the pedestal spoiler finished off in satin black. It has a really nice design to it. The third brake light is mounted right in the center of the trunk. And then this has darkened taillight housings. Of course they are LED. They have a really nice C-shaped design to them and a nice 3D dimensional design to them as well. Of course this has a backup camera. It's mounted right up underneath along with all the parking sensors. You'll see there's more black trim in the lower diffuser, and this also has a quad tip dual exhaust. Now it's time to go ahead and take a look at the interior. Before we do that, however, I'm gonna go ahead and lock the vehicle and hold on this button here on the key fob. This has remote start, so you can easily start this up and get a listen to that exhaust note. And then if you hold on it again, it will automatically shut it off. But now with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, all I have to do is walk up to the vehicle. I'll push on the silver button on the back of the door handle, and that will lock and unlock the vehicle. Where you'll see there's black leather on the door panel with very nice gray stitching, both in the upper section and down on the armrest. We have some white leather surrounding the window controls along with the side mirror adjustments, and then a very nice trim piece that surrounds that with the ambient lighting package. So this model has that. It's a very cool feature to see. Up above that, you can see the release handle along with lock and unlock, and then all of the memory seating adjustments. This model also features the Bose audio sound system. You can see the trunk release button in the lower section along with a little bit of storage space. And now moving on to the door sill, you'll see Camaro spelled out along with the colors. And now we can go ahead and take a look at these black leather seats. They have a really nice design to them with the SS badge right in the center, more of that gray stitching running down the bolsters, and even some of the accents in the inserts. They are heated and ventilated seats, and they have a multiple way power adjustability. All of those controls are down on the side. And now with my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. On the left side of the gauge cluster, you'll see the tach. On the right side is the miles per hour. And then there's some fixed information running across the top, like your fuel gauge. You have your battery voltage along with your engine and oil temperature. And then below that, we have a lot of information to go through. Using buttons on the right side of the steering wheel, you can scroll through and look at your miles per hour. We can go down and look at your trip information. You have your trip B information along with your fuel range and your fuel economy. You have your oil life remaining along with your TPMS. And then there's also a lap timer. And then there's a speed limit warning sign as well. And then if I click on the left arrow, we can pull up this tab. We were just in info. So now we can go ahead and check out performance, where you'll see a lot more vital information. You have a lot of things that you can monitor as well. If you're taking this out on the track, you can easily pull all of these up and make sure everything is running properly. If we click on the left button again, you can scroll down to your music. You can also pull up the navigation when you have that on and running, and then you can look at your phone and some options as well. So you can go through, you have launch control, you have different units that you can configure. So there's a lot of information that is very usable within this center screen. And if we make our way to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in solid and perforated leather. We have more of that stitching to give it a really nice look, along with a flat bottom design and the SS badge. You'll see on the right side, these are all the controls that I was using, along with Bluetooth. You have your voice commands above that. And then on the left side, this does have a heated steering wheel, so you have that control along with your cruise control. You have a collision alert button as well, along with some favorites. You have volume for the radio on the right side. And then you can see the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Moving to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see all the heads-up display controls, along with one air vent. And then as we work our way to the center, you'll see the 8-inch screen. There's a lot of information that you can go through within the system. So right now it's basically on the home screen right now, where you can see audio, phone. We can pull up the navigation so you can see that in full screen. If we just click on the lower left there, we're back to the home screen here, where you can view your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We can swipe over, look at the ambient lighting that I mentioned earlier, and there's a multiple amount of colors that you can go through, which is a very cool feature, as I mentioned. You can go into your climates and pull all of that up when you have them on and running. This does have a dual zone climate control system, so you can easily adjust everything there. And then we can swipe over to the far left, where you'll see the navigation on the right side and the audio and phone on the left side. And then down at the bottom, you have presets for your phone, navigation, and climates. So it doesn't matter what screen you're on, you can quickly get to those, which is a really nice touch to see. You'll also notice you have some more controls for that screen, like your home button and back button. Volume and power for the radio is right in the center, along with tuning as well. And you'll also notice that the screen kind of angles downwards, so it makes it very easy to read. It's not going to get any glare from the sun. And right below that, you'll see a row of buttons. On the outermost sides is the heated and ventilated seat controls for driver and passenger. You can also see the temperature for driver and passenger right next to that. Just by twisting on the dial here, that will control the temperature. So it's nice how you can see that readout right there. It will also pop up on the upper screen if you'd like to see it there. We have all the climate controls right in the center, along with fan speed, being able to turn everything on and off, and the sync control. You already saw the air vents. You can open and close them with the inner dial, and then of course change the temperature with the outermost dial. You'll see the hazards right below that. We have more of that white leather on both sides, giving it a really nice look. And then with my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and put the vehicle into reverse. You'll see the backup camera up here with the guidelines. Very crystal clear screen to be able to view what's behind you. Just behind the shifter, you can see the traction control along with the drive mode selector. So moving back to the gauge cluster here, you'll see we have a few different driving modes from Tour. You have Sport, Track, Snow, and Ice, and you can hear the exhaust note change slightly when you go between the different modes. So it's very cool to do that. You can see the electronic parking brake just behind that, along with a 12 volt. There are two cup holders right in the center. And then we can move on to the leather wrapped armrest. If I go ahead and open this up, you'll see there's a little bit of storage space along with two USBs in the back side of it. And then as we work our way to the glove box here, you'll see very nice leather above that. And if we go ahead and open this up, plenty of room for all of your items that have to go there. Now we can go ahead and take one last look at these seats. And as I mentioned earlier, this does have a sunroof, so we have that up top, of course. You have all those controls right in the center, along with the dome lights. The Camaro is a 4-seater, 2-doored coupe, so let's go ahead and take a look at the rear seats now. All you have to do to get back there, there's a latch on each side of the seats where you can go ahead and fold them forwards. And now at 5'10", I can go ahead and work my way into the back. And now in the back, you can see my head is just up against the headliner. These are functional back seats, so if I had to be back here, it is doable. You can use this for extra storage space as well. But you can have 2 people in the back here. There's a wireless charging port right in the center. We have speakers on both sides. And then the backrest of this seat actually folds completely flat. So that gives you a lot more usability if you need to put in any items. But you do have functional back seats, which is really nice to see. And last up, we'll go ahead and take a look at the trunk storage space. There is a button on the back that you can use just by pushing to the right side of the backup camera. That will unlock it, and then we can go ahead and open it up, where you'll see there's a good amount of storage space. Even with the back seats up, you can see that it extends a lot towards the front there, so you can put in any larger items if you need to. And of course, with them folded down, that gives you a lot more room. So it's a very usable 2-door vehicle, and then we can easily close this up. All right, so getting the all-new 2021 Chevrolet Camaro out on the road now. We are in sport mode right now, and not even giving it barely any gas there. It has a really nice exhaust note. I love how it sounds. Let's go ahead and put it into track mode. You can hear it aggressively get louder. If we pop it over now to use the paddle shifters, we can go down to 3rd gear. Wow. You can hear some pops in that exhaust too. This is a fantastic car to drive. I've had so much fun with it, and I've only put a few miles on it so far. We can go ahead and downshift again. Wow, I love being in the driver's seat of this car. It feels like you're in a race car. Everything is kind of tight and right around you here, but it makes for everything to be in a really good spot. You also have these really nice bulges above the gauge cluster too, so that's going to not only block out the sun, but it gives it a really cool look. And everything is just in a great location. It's, like I said, it's very tight feeling, but at the same time, it is open with all of this glass here. And I love the design of the glass too. So let's go ahead and talk about visibility. It's really easy to see all around, and with the thin look of the glass, it kind of matches the front grille with how the headlights are very thin at the same time. But looking over your left and right shoulder, it's easy to see all around. You have a little bit of a pillar in the back there, but it's nothing you can't see around. Of course, you have your side mirrors, and one thing that I did not talk about earlier, we have the traditional rear view mirror right in the middle here, but we can flip it up to look at a digital screen. So that camera is mounted on the back of the roof, and so now we can see everything behind us, and you don't have to look at the back seats or anything like that. So 2nd gear. It is so incredibly smooth in these shifts. You can't even feel the upshifts. It's that good. We're gonna downshift. Some pops. Wow. Even coming around a turn, accelerating around this turn, this car is incredibly well planted. It carries its weight well. Coming back to the rear view camera there, I got sidetracked with how much fun this is to drive, but I love seeing the road behind me there. It's a very different view from your normal rear view camera here, but like I said earlier, it gives you great visibility, almost a 180 behind this entire vehicle. Let's go ahead and move on to some of the other features that I showed in today's video, like the heated steering wheel finished off in leather. I absolutely love these leather seats and all of these white accents too. The ambient lighting is a fantastic touch, but now touching briefly on the amount of room that you have in this 2-door vehicle, I love the fact that you actually have functional back seats. Now, will you be using them a lot in this vehicle? Probably not, but it is nice to know that they're functional, they're there. You can put 3 other people in here if you need to use the space. But at the same time, if this is your daily driver, it's great to have more interior storage space. I think a lot of people do enjoy having that ability to use it. We are coming up to a sharp left turn here. We're gonna downshift on the brakes, using those Brembos. It is so much fun to drive. It took that turn well, going at a normal rate of speed here. Last up, I wanted to touch briefly on the heads-up display. So I mentioned those controls are on the left side of the steering wheel here, and right now I have it to where I can view the tach, my miles per hour, what gear I'm in, and even the G's that I'm pulling as well. I think that's a great screen to be able to see. It has all of the information that you need. So if you're taking this out on back mountain roads, or you're even taking it to the track, You have all the information you need right in front of you, which is great. You don't have to look down at the gauge cluster. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of the all new 2021 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you want to see more of our daily uploads. I'll see you guys in the next video.